Yes, sir. This is Lucifer here, business and spiritual consultant. As always, please share, subscribe, and leave a like. And if you're wondering what is Lucifer doing on Earth, well, let me tell you, he's talking about everything that the Earth is made of, which is what business and spirituality. Yes, sir, bub. So, today we're gonna talk about my personal discipline because a lot of people I have well, let's put more context to this content. When you are a spiritualist, you are prone to gaze into the abyss. Let's start with the end. When you are a spiritualist, you are prone to gaze into the abyss. I've talked about this in my other video. You're prone to look into the abyss, and we all know that when you gaze into the abyss gazes right back. I will explain what that means as we go along. You see, the difference between somebody that follows a specific kind of discipline. You see, you know what? You know what? It's a good thing I had to restart this video. Because let's be real here. This is the reason why demonology is a good thing. Let's put it that way. This is the reason why demonology is a good thing. You see, a lot of people think demonology is about, sacrificing animals and stuff like that, but you're dealing with very intelligent entities, very powerful, very ancient entities. And unlike some people say, as I've stated before in some of my videos, especially when I'm talking about voodoo, which is weird because that's another thing that Dolo defended Elmera on, because Dolo did make a video saying that a spirit is only as intelligent as you think it is. No, the spirit is. He was saying that a spirit is actually you're more intelligent than a spirit or God, right? Well, maybe a spirit, because some spirit are very human, but a God that's different. But a God is only as intelligent as you think it is. So a God will not reveal to you certain things if you perceive it as being a specific way. So demonology, though, demons will always try to teach you something new. Demons are always trying to teach you something new. Most of the time, demons are always trying to teach you something new, whether you are aware of it or not, whether you are open to it or not. They will always try to teach you something new. They will always try to teach you a new science. So in the world of demonology, a lot of these new age practices actually comes from demonology. It doesn't come from Christianity. Christianity does not try to teach you anything new. It wants you to stay stagnant and the same forever and ever, for eons and eons. The old saying goes, for the ages and ages. Demonology believes in evolution. The theory of evolution is seen in the story of Genesis. The story of the story of Genesis. A lot of people, bite the apple, and then, Adam and the apple he bit from it, and then everybody got punished. No, that's not what that story really is about. That story is about evolution. You see, if the consequence, the fourth dimension is time, space, is time and space continuum. Without the fourth dimension, there is no time and space continuum. So there needs to be, in order to have every action has an equal opposite reaction. So Lucifer was the driving force here. He created evolution. He created mankind. Without the driving force of the Luciferian energy, the Lucifer energy, the darkness energy, there would have been no evolution. There would have been no humanity. So everybody keeps saying, "Oh, Lucifer's bad because he made Eve eat the apple." Yeah, but you wouldn't be here to say that he's bad if he hadn't done that in the first place. So it's easy to talk shit. You know what I mean? It's easy to talk shit about a person, but when you realize what that person has done for humanity, that's another different story, because God wouldn't have created humanity. You wouldn't be here. You wouldn't have enjoyed life as you enjoy it. You wouldn't be riding around in your $1,000,000 car. You wouldn't be riding around in your $1,000,000 house. You wouldn't be going to work in your $1,000,000,000 workspace. You wouldn't have any form of success at all. You wouldn't have life. You wouldn't be alive. You would never enjoy the pleasures of life if it wasn't for Lucifer. Right? So anyway, I digress. The story of Genesis is actually the story of evolution. It's actually scientific. It's a lot of things. It's multi-layered. The importance of layers. There's so many layers to the world, it's incredible. You got to peel the onion, as we say. As the young kids would say. You got to peel the onion. There's many layers to an onion. And the world is an onion. It's not a lemon. A lot of people feel like the world is a lemon. It's not a lemon. It's an onion. So, now that that's said, the reason why I'm schizophrenic is because I don't believe that, you know what? I despise people that don't believe that everything is not about them. I have a pure hatred for people that don't think that the world, that everything is about them. I have a hatred. I can't stand you. I can't bear to stand near you if you don't believe that everything is about you, because everything is about you all the time. It's scientific. It's scientific. It's science. I'm saying this. I'm a spiritualist saying this. I'm telling you, this is science. Science has proven that everything is about you. Like I've said before in my other videos, science is only trying to make sense. Scientists are only challenging humanity on things that they don't understand. Scientists have a different language. And people do not understand, the common people don't understand the scientists' language. You see, every time they hear a scientist speak, they think that the scientist is being literal. Scientists are never literal. They're damn near sarcastic. They're almost sarcastic. At some point, they're the most seriously sarcastic people on the planet. The way they talk seems like they're being literal. They are saying, oh no, this is how the world, no, they're asking if that's how the world is started. They're waiting for someone to come up with an answer. That's what being a scientist is. That being a scientist is waiting for somebody to come up with an answer. And that's your whole life. If you're a scientist, that's your entire life. Your entire life is based off waiting for people to come up with answers. That's what being a scientist is. That's the whole thing. So every time you see scientists and the way they talk, and it sounds like they know the answer, and they're telling you the answer. They're not telling you the answer. They're bringing up subjects, and it's either you have enough intelligence to interpret it the way that you're supposed to interpret it, or make sense of it into your own life, or not. Scientists are a little bit snooty. They don't have time to waste, apparently. So the thing here is, everything in the world is about you. Everything in the world is about me. The reason why I bring this up is because so-and-so made a video saying Even though I have brought this up before anybody else did. At least 2 years before anybody else did. Because some of the things I've said about the conscious community it's not even about the conscious community, it's a thing about the whole entire world. I am a worldly person. I am a universal entity. I am a universal entity. I am not a local kingpin. Like that rap song says, you're a local ass kingpin, N-word with a limitation. MJG and 8 Ball said it the best. MJG and 8 Ball are scientists. MJG and 8 Ball are the most scientifical rappers I've ever seen. They are scientists. Shit. And most of these rappers are probably scientists. They're probably physicists fooling everybody. You know that might be true. The other day, we got some rappers getting caught. Their dads are doctors. Like lawyers and doctors and stuff. They never lived in the streets. They might be scientists, just making fun of us. Just playing with our minds. This guy's a scientist. Everybody's out here trying to live like the rap song, and these guys in the meantime they're doing science, they're reading books. They're reading books, bro. They're in their house listening to classical music. Everybody's out here shooting each other, trying to be rappers and stuff. Some of your favorite rappers are very intelligent. They finish school. They have a high degree. They have a high IQ. Some of your favorite rappers, they're the smartest people on the planet. They're sitting there talking about selling crack. There's a reason for that. But that's not the point of this video. The point is, and even that's not important, especially after what I'm going to say. Time and space is irrelevant. Why is it irrelevant? Because time and space is happening at the same time. There is no future, there is no past. There's only the present. There is a future and there is a past at the same time, but there is no future, there's no past at the same time. Why? Because whatever you choose in the present is actually what happens in the future. And whatever happened in the past actually has no weight in what happens in the present. So the future and the past means bupkis. It's all happening at the same time. The past is also happening in the present. The future also. Multi-layers. The world is an onion. Once again. What we call the future and the past is actually two different planes of existence. The future, the past, and the present are three different planes of existence that's overlapping over each other. We're going to get into the thick of things. Don't worry about it. So anyways, this person was saying that it had nothing to do with me, such and such, so and so. Question here, side note, how come he didn't do a video about that when his dude said the same thing a few months ago? King Brujo did a video saying that everything that happened in the conscious community had something to do with him. That's crazy. King Brujo, the same guy that said the same thing, also said that I'm schizophrenic, even though that he repeated the exact same things that I said. So that makes him schizophrenic too. And to add injury to insult, you have Elmira stating that it had nothing to do with me, even though I'm the one that brung up that sort of thinking in the first place, that brung that content here, that gave him the capability of saying such thing. Future, present, present. Irrelevance. Did I do it on purpose? Maybe. Maybe not. So, when you are a universal entity, when you are a universal being, you have to understand that everything, you know what, I don't even want to say that. It's the second times I interrupt myself saying that. I don't even want to say that. What I'm going to say is, you cannot consider yourself a universal being, or you know what, you can't even consider yourself a spiritual being if you don't believe that everything is not part of you. This is what we say in the spiritual world, right? That everything is an extension of yourself. You are connected to everything that's in the world. You're connected to the other people. You're connected to inspiration. You're connected to the Akashic records. You're connected to inspiration. You're connected to imagination. You're connected to the immaterial, the ethereal. We're connected to all of these things. But yet, nothing is inside of our existence. How can that be? That right there is a scientific question. You know what? I don't even think a scientist would accept that sort of thinking because it doesn't make sense. Scientists believe that humanity is connected to everything on a certain, to a certain extent. That's what the scientists believe. If you go see a scientist and you tell him, so that means if you go see a scientist and you tell him, I don't believe that this is happening inside of my experience, he will laugh at you. He'll laugh at you. He will tell you, you are not a scientist, sir. You need to go learn some more scientific hogwash. You need to brainwash yourself with some more science and come back later when you get it. Because scientifically, that notion does not make any sense. You cannot be connected to everything, but nothing is inside of your experience. It doesn't add up. How can that be? How can you be connected to everything, but nothing is happening because of you? Doesn't make any sense. This is high level magic, people. This is very high level magic. This is very high level magic. This is insanely high level magic. But I'm Lucifer. It's what I do. I'm here to bring you teach you about everything that the world is made of, which is what? Business and spirituality. Of course, please share and subscribe. So, let's say you're a Buddhist. Just to add injury to insult to your psychosis. Let's bring injury to insult to your psychosis here. Let me UFC elbow your butt here. Let's say you're a Buddhist. Buddhists believe that they are connected to the universe. They are connected to everything that is. This is what you're supposed to, this is how you're supposed to achieve enlightenment. By perceiving your expansion as part of the whole, as you are part of an expansive unification. You are connected to everything. The birds, the trees, everything. The people. even things, even material things, inanimate objects. You're connected to everything. A tree is an inanimate object. The same thing. There's no difference between a tree and a table. So on a subatomic level, there's no difference between a tree and a coffee table or a piece of furniture. If you're a Buddhist, this is your belief. So if you're a Buddhist and you go see your teacher and you tell your teacher asks you, so what have you learned? Have you understood your connection with the world? And you say yes. And then your teacher asks you, so everything that happens is part of your existence. Even me being here, this is happening because of you, right? And if you tell him no, he's going to tell you to go back down the mountain and go get some water. He's going to tell you to go back down the mountain and go get some more water. Why? Because it doesn't add up that everything that's going on, if you are connected to everything that's going on around and connected to the universe and you're doing YouTube videos about it, and you come and tell me that things are happening outside of my existence, it doesn't add up. It doesn't make any sense. You failed. You misinterpreted your whole life. Go back down the stairs, go get some water. Bring some more water. You didn't get it. So, yes, of course, I'm speaking about high-level magic. If you're smart enough to understand what's going on right now, I'm talking about very high-level magic. I'm not talking about no voodoo. I'm talking about something that's way higher, way more expensive. Way more expensive. Expensive. Not expansive. Expensive. It is expensive. It's expensive magic. So the problem here is the problem with humanity. The reason why you're incapable of seeing these things is because at a young age, they tell you 2 + 2 is 4. And that's all you need to know. You see, the problem with spiritualists is because they still remember their education. They still remember their graduate degree. They are basing their life off of their graduation day. They remember their last prom. They remember their last prom night. Most spiritual people out here remember their last prom night. They remember their last prom night, and this is what is holding them back. They remember the prom, and it's holding them back. No pun intended, no offense meant. I ain't trying to trigger nobody, but it's true. You remember 2 + 2 is 4. You remember that you remember your syntax, your grammar, your algebra. Those things to you are real. Those things to you are malleable and usable in society, in civilization. So we remember those things. So when we get to a certain process, when we get to a certain point in our spiritual education, when we tell ourselves that everything is expensive, everything is part of us, and blah, 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 we stop at a certain point. We stop in front of the door. There's a door where you are omnipotent. There's a door that you arrive in front where you become omnipotent. There's a door that you arrive in front where everything in existence is happening either because of you or is you. And most spiritual people stop in front of that door, and then they get in front of it, and then boom, they're sucked back in. They're sucked back sucked back into the world, because they just remembered that 2 plus 2 is 4. They remembered their high school teacher, their elementary school teacher, telling them stories about how the world works. They remember their high school teacher telling them about history. So they get sucked back into the world. Because that door, beyond that door, you understand that history is nothing. Time-space continuum is irrelevant. 2 plus 2 is 4, but so what? No one cares. Doesn't matter. Unless it matters. Beyond that door, nothing that happens around you is outside of your perception or your existence. You are everything, and everything is you. So when you walk into a room, you got to be aware. You got to be aware of what you see, what you hear, and things like that. This is why you have synchronicities. I was thinking about Sandra Bullock the other day. No pun intended. I was thinking about Sandra Bullock the other day. I go to a bar. There's a big flat screen TV in the bar, and there's Sandra Bullock on the TV. The people in the bar was watching Sandra Bullock, and I was thinking about Sandra Bullock. You know, that's a synchronicity. So if that happens, what is actually happening outside of my existence? Nothing. There's nothing happening outside of my existence. Nothing is happening outside of my existence. How can you go somewhere and you synchronize? I mean, oh, it's a synchronicity. It's laws of manifestation. Yay. Bullshit. Bullshit. There's something way bigger than that going on. Synchronicities are only a way for the universe to show you that, hey, you discovered something. Hey, you're right. Hey, I'm listening to you. That's what synchronicities are really for. It's just for you to realize what's really going on. And if you don't realize that, go back down the mountain, get some water. And a lot of people are not going to realize that. A lot of people are not going to realize that. A lot of people are not going to realize that. Even after watching this video, a lot of people are not going to realize that. Nothing happens outside of my existence. I am an omnipotent entity. Nothing happens outside of my existence. I create everything. I create all of these things. Whether it's on purpose or not on purpose, it's because of me. At this point, I can't really say it's not on purpose. At this point, I can't really say that. The only way you will truly know if I'm the crazy one, the only way you'll know if I'm not Alice or I'm Alice, if I'm un-Alice or Alice, because I could be nigga Alice, right? I could be nigga Alice and not Alice. But the only way for you to know that is by trying to be Alice yourself. Is by gazing into the abyss. Tumble down the rabbit hole. Being a little bit narcissistic. Because that's a narcissistic value, to see everything as just you're the center of the universe, because you are the center of the universe. There are still people trying to make you believe that you're not the center of the universe till this day, because it's too hard to believe. But you are the center of the universe. I am the center of the universe. This is why the conscious community died. Because most of these spiritual people that started YouTube channels that wanted to talk about spirituality got knocked out by a bunch of clowns. Because they did not believe in themselves enough. They didn't believe in themselves enough because spirituality is only the first step. You see, you have political power, LGBTQ community, Black Lives Matter, social justice, all that stuff. That's political power. Right wing, left wing, activism, political power. Magic, dark magic, light magic, Wicca, voodoo, astrology, tarot, whatever, demonology. That's spiritual power. Now, you know what? I'm not going to put demonology in there. I'm not. Christianity, that's what I'm going to put in there. Christianity is spiritual power. No pun intended, no offense meant. But when you get to universal power, demonology, that's pretty much it. It's just demonology. That's demonology and Hinduism. That's universal power. And Buddhism, Hindu, demonology, Asian culture. You know what? To me, demonology is Asian. The demonology to me is Asian culture. I feel like demons spent more time in Asia than they did in any European country or American country, to be quite honest. And it's not that they don't want to, it's just some people have different agendas. That's universal power. Those are things. Hinduism, Buddhism, demonology are things that make you universal. Christianity, and Wicca, black magic, white magic, that's spiritual power. So spirituality is only a door to attain spiritual universal power. It's only the first step. It's only the second step, if you want to put it that way. Because when you're a child, you have political power. When you're a teenager, you fall into the political power. You fall into the activism kind of world. Oh, the world isn't right. Those corrupt officials over there, they need to be taught a lesson. You are inside of your political strength. You're inside your political power. That's your first step. But like Alice tumbling down the rabbit hole, you start to notice that there's something bigger going on. You start watching X-Files on TV on Fox. You start watching the X-Files on Fox. The conspiracies, the G-Man, the alien, Roswell, all the cover-ups, chemicals in the water to make people subservient. Why are they doing all that stuff? Why is there so many psyops, cover-ups, and all kinds of stuff? Then you start realizing these guys are on some weird stuff. They're doing weird stuff. The Illuminati. So now you start tumbling down the spiritual world. That's in your 20s. In your 20s, you start tumbling down in the spiritual worlds. And when you're 15, you're in your political power. 20s, spiritual power. 20 to 30s. In your 30s, you're still inside your spiritual power, even in your 30s. Because you can be political for a long time. You can be political from the age of 15 till you're 25. And then when you hit 25, you become a little bit more spiritual. You know what I mean? So when you get older, then you fall into that. When you're 50, the kind of power I have is for 50 and 60-year-olds, 70-year-olds. You're supposed to be a grandpa. You're supposed to be 100. I'm supposed to be 100 and have like a long beard and have a little lantern and a cane like the hermit. Everybody thinks the hermit is a hermit on the tarot card. The hermit's not outside. The hermit's not inside. He's outside. He's planting seeds. He has the seeds in his hands. He's planting seeds. What does that even mean? It's too complicated. I'm not going to explain in this video. This ain't what this video is about. Why does he have a lantern? Where's he going? Illuminating his way. So, and tarots are universal cards, by the way. They're not spiritual cards. They're universal archetypes. The constellations, stars. So, they're doing this. So nothing outside of your existence happens outside of your existence. Everything you are, everything is you. So you got to be aware that everything you're listening to, and it can make you go crazy. It can make you go crazy. This is the reason why people have chemical imbalances. Everything that I just said is the reason why people have chemical imbalances and they go into psychosis, because most people that have psychosis, if you check up on that stuff, almost every 90% of people that have psychosis are religious psychosis. They are having a spiritual experience. They are prone to spiritual experience that they mend and mold and mistake for reality. So they have trouble seeing reality and imaginary world. This is very important, because this is a disturbance into the airwaves, because some of these nigga humans are actually creating disturbance in the airwaves. And your job is not to go fight the nigga humans. You can do it if you want to, but that's not your original job. That's not your original job, because there will always be nigga humans. The stronger humanity becomes, until we achieve enlightenment as a whole, there will always be nigga humans. So what these nigga humans are doing is actually creating a disturbance into people's electromagnetic field, their creational power. It's creating a disturbance. It's creating a blockage. It's creating it's not creating a blockage. You're never blocked from creating stuff. You can create whatever you want, whenever you want. No matter how strong or weak you are, it doesn't matter. You can't stop that power. And they can't stop that power either, because they are living embodiments of your power. So they can't stop you, because without you, they wouldn't be alive. Of course, don't underestimate nigga humans. Nigga humans don't care about life. They care about unlife. So what happens is, it creates a disturbance into what we call civilization, into what we call the social, the social norm, because we think that what we have today is the social norm. We think that what we have today is reality, is civilization. That's what we think. That doesn't mean that's what it is. Because, like I said before, when you enter the world of magic, you become the craziest person on the planet. If you are a magician, you can't not be afraid to look fucking crazy. And you can't be afraid to say crazy things, because when you mess around, when you are a spiritual person, the gods will ask you to do certain things. They will give you tasks, and those tasks seem crazy. It seems crazy. You are very aware that what this God or this spirit asks you to do is some crazy stuff, and if everybody sees you do it, they're gonna think you're crazy too. You can't be afraid of looking crazy. If you're a spiritualist, if you're a magician, you can't be afraid to look crazy. You can't be afraid to look crazy. And the worst part is 75% of the time you'll do some crazy shit that everybody else understands. And you thought everybody was gonna see that you're crazy, but at the end of the day, they're like, I don't think that's crazy. I think that's 100% right. And you're like, what? Like, wait, what? You think I'm right? It happens a lot, 75% of the time. So 75% of the time, you think you're gonna look crazy, but you don't. It's kind of weird if you think about it. But that's magic. Because you're supported. Of course, there's a reason why you're chosen to do that specific task. The plan has already been laid out. You just have to confirm the plan. I'm gonna stop this video. Let me add some more example. Because let me add some more example. Let's say your house is a magical conductor. Cleanliness is close to godliness, is what they say in the civilizational world, in the civilized world. Cleanliness is close to godliness. But what does that mean? The only thing you hear is cleanliness is close to godliness, but nobody knows what that means. What that means is, as you put energy into your house, the house will give that energy right back. When your house is uncluttered, when there is space, when you can breathe, the air that you breathe inside the house smells nice, it looks great, everything. There's space to walk, there's space to breathe, there's space to, there's space. That space that you're feeling, if you are positively filling the house with positive energy. That positive energy stays there. And I guarantee you, the days where you feel like shit and you walk into that house, you'll feel better, which is your house. That house, you work for the house will work for you. So you can become very powerful just with your house. Or your car. Your car is an extension of yourself. Your car is just an extension of yourself. Your car is an extension of yourself, and you a car is a person. A car is a person, you're the same. I mean, you have fluids, the cars have fluids. You have fluids, the car has fluid. You have an engine that creates combustion. You have an engine that creates combustion called the stomach. You have a butt, the car has a butt. Like it does. It's called a muffler. I mean, the car drives down the road and then you hear, that's a fart. The car's farting. That's what's going on. You do the same thing too. When fluids and food enter your body, at some point, you fart. Same thing. You got an engine. And it's good for your health. It's good for your car. A good muffler, a good exhaust mean that your car is healthy. It's the same thing for your body. If your body is expelling good gases, that means you're healthy. And a human is just like a car too. I'm a car. I am a car, dude. Like I can bring you from one place to another. Let's say I have a business and I have a place in my business for you. That's a driving vehicle. It's a driving vehicle. It's a driving force. I am a car. I am your car. You are the one that choose to buy this car here. You choose to buy this car here. My only guarantee or my only promise is to bring you from this destination to another destination. That's what my business is about. It's bringing people from one end to the other. I'm not a car. I'm a bus. You know what? I'm not a car or a bus. I'm a plane. I mean, I'm a jet. I'm a G38 jet. You can have parties in the back if you want to. Don't drink too much. You know, no, I don't care. Drink as much as you want. I'm the one flying anyway. You know what I mean? Of course, there's some people that consider themselves to be, thank you. There's some people that consider themselves to be plain, but they're not driving anyone anywhere. But they call themselves planes. Flight bosses. Nigga planes. That's what I call that shit. That's a nigga plane, bro. Not nigga like N-I-G-G-A. N-E-G-A. Negative version. An unplane. An unflight boss. You know what I mean? What else? Did I miss something? Did I miss something here? I got everything? Because I'm saying a lot of stuff here. I'm saying a lot of stuff. I'm going to let you think about it. I'll make some more videos. Oh, and by the way, there's a lot of people that want to talk about herbs and crystals and stuff like that. I think that's great. I think that's fun. Quartz is fine. Quartz keeps energy in. You got to clean it. If you want to clean your quartz, use quartz crystals. If you want to use crystals, use quartz. It's very energetic. It's very easy. You can fill up negative energy in quartz. Clean that shit. Clean that negative energy, put that quartz back where it was. You can also use quartz to put energy in, not your personal energy, but you can put some energy in, whether it's positive. Just listen to some affirmation with your quartz crystals and shit like that. Put it right back there, and negative energy will, positive energy will exude from it. You hold it a little bit and stuff like that, but you got to recharge it. And that's the most important thing. You got to recharge it. If you want to use spices, if you want to use herbs and spices, that's good too. Burn spices, burn herbs in order to either get success or love or luck in relationships and stuff like that. It's a very good thing. You got to go. Me personally, as a demonologist, I use it. I use herbs. I use flowers and herbs and stuff like that to give me more luck. Personally, that's what I do. I'll make another video. I don't use that much. I don't use it in potion form. I use it in raw form on purpose. It works just as well as using potions and stuff like that. It all depends on your way of thinking. It all has to do with how you think, man. It's all about style. You know what I mean? If you are a demon, demons is all about style. It's not necessarily about potions and stuff like that. It's not like in the movies. You know what I mean? For us, it's about style. You know what I mean? We gotta have style. We gotta have style. You know what I mean? Okay, I'm out of here. I'm out of here, man. Have a good one. Peace out.